Hey guys, it's Amber. So today's video is going to be a rosacea diaries. So this is going to be an update on what my current skincare routine is going to be in the next future. Also, I'm going to go over some basics of what rosacea is, how do you know if you have rosacea, and the different types of rosacea. So I have been slowly researching about rosacea over the last 5 years. I've always had redness in my face that's gone from here and then on my nose, and it wasn't until I was pregnant with my second child about 5 years ago that I had a huge outbreak, and I went to a dermatologist, and that's when I got diagnosed. And so since then I've been trying different products, trying to figure out, because I'm like, I have acne, I have redness, I need to find something that works for both. My skin used to be more dry, now it's more normal, but it can be sensitive. And there's so many different things that work for different people, it's hard to find what is the right thing that works for you. So for the past few months, probably at least 6 months, I have been using the Soothe line from Rodan & Fields. And I have really enjoyed this line. And I think it's about $180, $160 or $180 for the entire kit. And you get a skincare wash, a toner, a sensitive skin treatment, another lotion, and then a sunscreen. I did have really good results. So for those of you who are wondering, this did work for me. It worked really well. I did notice a difference in my redness. I think you guys have noticed too, like right through here especially. I don't have as much redness as I used to have, which is so awesome. Did it make my redness completely go away? No, but I do think that it was worth it for how much progress that I saw. And I also did incorporate some of the unblemished line because I do have some kind of bumpy, rashy acne as well as rosacea. I'll get more into that in a little bit. So I did incorporate some of that as well. Now, the one part that I can never get the redness to go away from is like just this tip of my nose is always the hardest part. That's what I still struggle with a little bit, but I think overall it's gotten a lot better than it used to be. So I would definitely say that it worked for me. Rodan & Fields is a direct sales company, which means that you have to buy from a sales rep. If you guys are interested in purchasing, I do have a rep that was so kind to gift me these products to test out and let you guys know that they worked, and I can put her information down below. Now, with that being said, I am a beauty vlogger. I want to try new things. I want to see what will work the best, but I also want to get the most for my money. So on a couple of videos when I've been testing out different kinds of products, I had some comments about Paula's Choice saying that they offered a similar system for redness and rosacea. And I finally ran out of my cream. I have been like babying this stuff, like I haven't been like slathering my face in it. I literally would be like putting it on the areas I needed the most because it is a little more spendy. I wanted to make it last. I know if you just do a normal use, this would only last you like 3 months, but I like doubled that because because it's expensive. I just babied it and I just put it right where I needed it on my redness, and then I could use another moisturizer for the rest of my face that was a little less expensive just because I wanted to concentrate that where I needed the most, and I still got good results. So I felt like that worked fine for me. If you have redness all over, of course, you could definitely use this all over your face. I still had some cleanser, I still have some sunscreen, but I was needing the sensitive skin treatment and the moisture cream. So it's kind of like, what do you do? So to buy the whole entire kit, let me get you the correct price here. So to get the entire kit is $160. For a very good skincare line that has given me these results, I don't think is an unfair price. If you took $160 and divided it by 4, you'd expect each product to cost around $40, which I think you could walk into Sephora and Ulta, buy a lotion or any kind of skincare product for about $40. I don't think that's an unreasonable price to spend. The problem is they don't make it that easy. You get a discount when you buy it together, so when you buy it separately, it is a lot more expensive. So for me, I just wanted to get the sensitive skin treatment. This alone is $80. So it's actually double the price of what you would think you're paying in the kit to buy this by itself. So that's $80. And then if I wanted more of the moisture replenishing cream, That one is $53. So already I'm almost spending as much as the entire kit. So it's like, you know, it makes sense to just buy a whole kit. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I don't need more of the cleanser. You know, what do I do? I was kind of at this point where I was trying to decide if I wanted to just buy these products I needed or if it was worth it to buy the kit. But I was also interested in trying other things because if this didn't work for you or this isn't something you're interested in, I want to test out other options and let you guys know if it works. So I've been really tempted by what I mentioned is the Paula's Choice line. So I looked up the Paula's Choice line and they have the Calm Redness Relief Kit, and they have one for normal to dry skin, and they also have one for normal to oily skin. And their kit normally costs $150, which very comparable to what the Rodan & Fields is. It is on sale currently for $129, and this is on paulaschoice.com. Let me tell you everything you get. So if I got the one, I'd probably do the normal to dry skin because I don't really get oily. I'm more dry, but I'm mostly just pretty normal now, which is nice. So you get 6 products. You get a cleanser, a toner, exfoliant, a serum, a day moisturizer with SPF, and a night moisturizer. So I like that there was some more products in there as far as getting an exfoliant and a serum. I do have a serum I've been using that has hyaluronic acid in it, and so to me it's kind of nice to be like, hey, maybe I could, you know, skip that in my regimen and just do this whole entire thing. Here's the part where they got me. So when you go down to look at the items, the Redness Relief Toner is $20. The Redness Relief Cleanser is $17. The Repairing Serum, which is going to be the heavier product, $32. The Redness Relief Moisturizer, $28. And I'm like, see, for me, that's just a little more doable when I run out of product instead of being forced to buy a whole entire kit. Honestly, I could just go and buy the Redness Relief Serum and Moisturizer and spend $60 to get 2 products instead of spending over $100 and getting an entire kit. Does that make sense? So I'm just looking for some feedback. Are you guys interested in me trying the Paula's Choice line? I'm kind of interested in just ordering the whole kit, even though it's $120, just to test it all out, see if I get as good of results with it. I do really like the Soothe line, so I'm hesitant to change because it has worked so well. But I know if this doesn't work that I can always go back to it. So I'm kind of in a little of a toss-up here. I'm kind of in a toss-up, but I want to know what you guys think. And so let me know what you guys would like to see me do. When I went to the Paula's Choice website, I was blown away with the amount of information that was there. And I was so excited about the things I was reading that I wanted to share it with you guys. So these aren't things that I have researched. These aren't my opinions. This is literally from their website. But since you guys might not have seen this, I want to share it with you. The first thing it talks about is what is rosacea. Basically saying rosacea is kind of a mysterious disorder. They don't know if it's genetic, what necessarily always causes it. There's lots of different theories. It's basically identified by the redness that goes over your nose and cheeks, sometimes with bumps, sometimes with thickening of the skin, and there's lots of different types of rosacea. It actually says that 14 million people are thought to have rosacea, which to me is crazy. 14 million people? Oh my gosh, guys, like that is insane. I can't believe there's that many people who struggle with the same thing that I do on a daily basis. So it goes on to say that it's a chronic inflammatory skin condition and that there are several things that can make it flare up. So some people when they're in hot temperatures, some people when they eat specific foods, sometimes when you eat like a bowl of hot soup or cold wind, those things can all cause you to have a flare-up. It also says that if you leave it untreated that you can have your rosacea worsen over time, which I'm like, okay, I'm glad I'm taking action to treat this because I definitely don't want it to get worse. So there are several theories on what causes rosacea. Some people think there is a genetic link. Some people have said that it is an elevated level of an enzyme known as KLK5 in the skin's layer, and I hadn't heard that before. This theory I have heard, but it really, really freaks me out, so I hate to even say it. But the theory is that your skin is red because you get these little mites in your skin that it's called dermadex, and they trigger the inflammation, which leads to rosacea. The thought of having tiny bugs on my face freaks me out so much that I'm like, let's pray that it is not that, because that freaks me out. But I have heard that theory before. Also, some people feel like It is to do with the lipid barrier of your face, the thin skin, that your skin's more sensitive, and that is what the Soothe works for, is the lipid barrier and restoring that. And that is a theory that I obviously have heard, and I think obviously works because it helped me. The question is it a combination? Do you just have one? Do you have another? Does a certain reason cause certain kinds of rosacea? I mean, there's so many questions that can still be unanswered. They also say that hot climates, sun exposure, stress, cosmetic ingredients, and spicy foods, caffeine, and alcohol can also cause flushing. And for those of you who have rosacea, you're probably nodding your head going, yes, 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 yes. So rosacea typically affects people from ages 30 to 60. Now, I was one of the lucky people who had the redness show up in my face when I was a teenager. Now, I did not get diagnosed until I was 25, and that's when I started getting the bumps. And now I'm 30, and so I guess I'm right in the the prime of my rosacea life, basically, the start of my journey, who knows. So this went on to explain that there's different types of rosacea, which was so exciting for me because I didn't know why some people just had redness and I had these bumps like acne, but I knew they weren't necessarily acne. And so this was really interesting to me, so hopefully you guys will find this interesting too. The first one is a super crazy long word. I'm going to try to pronounce it, but I'll put it down here on the screen. And it says erythematolegentic. I just butchered it. I'm sorry. It basically says this is the most basic type of rosacea. This is the butterfly pattern where you get the redness across your cheeks, your nose, down on your chin. A lot of times you have broken capillaries, and it often is sensitive and reacts. Like, my skin gets red really quickly. If you've ever seen me, like when I'm rubbing my skin or anything, like it gets red easily. That's your classic rosacea. The next one is called papulopustular. And this is what I have. So this has bumps and pimple-like eruptions in addition to redness, because, you know, redness just isn't enough on its own. Can become infected with bacteria that is acne-like, which is why people sometimes say they have acne rosacea. So that is me to a T. I have the redness, but I'll still get these occasional bumps, and sometimes I get like rashy bumps, and they're not like normal zits. And of course, I still sometimes get normal zits. But if you have rosacea, you know, like you sometimes get this weird textured rashy skin and you're like, what the heck is that? And you know, for so many years I was just using acne products and not getting anywhere. And it would clear up the acne, but still the bumps and yeah, you know. So the next one is called phimosis. And this is the mostly common in men, and that's where they get the thickening of the skin. And a lot of men can get the thickness on their nose especially, and it makes their nose more bulbous. I'm like, thank you. That does not happen to me, because if my skin got thicker and more bulbous on my nose, I don't even know what I would do with myself. Whew. The last one I never heard of, and this is ocular, where sometimes people have rosacea that affects their eyes. And it says that you can get dry eyes, tearing, burning. It actually can have potential vision loss, which I was like, holy cow, I never knew that rosacea could affect your eyes. So if you're having rosacea and you're having eye problems, maybe something to ask your ophthalmologist and your dermatologist about. I have no idea how you treat that, but just putting that information out there. It goes on to talk about the different types of ways people treat rosacea. It talks about oral antibiotics, topical antibiotics. It talks about the Mirvaso gel. Mirvaso? I don't know if I'm saying that right. But that does usually counteract the flushing. It's a temporary. I think you put it on the gel and it constricts the blood vessels and makes the redness go down. I have heard good things about that, but I haven't tried it personally. It talks about how salicylic acid and BHA are good for rosacea, and there's also anti-acne drugs. So sometimes you'll just be prescribed like Accutane or something like that just to help control the acne like bumps. This is all super interesting to me, and I feel like, wow, if this website has so much information on rosacea and they're having all these different causes, kind of makes me want to try their products. And I feel like, wow, you guys haven't just thrown out some product that you're like, oh, hopefully this will work for redness, ha ha ha. Like, you've done your research and then you've made a product. So that really impressed me, and I was just like, wow, I think I want to give this a try. It also talks about light-based treatments. These are expensive. They're saying they're $300 to $700 a treatment. Medical insurance usually doesn't cover them. that probably wouldn't be an option for me, but it's interesting to know that it's out there. So if you've got the money, look into light treatments. Hey. So it also goes on to have like resources and references, and you can click on them and there's like all these pages of journals of medical, all these places they got all their information from. And I was just like, okay, I'm feeling this. So I think I'm going to try the Paula's Choice line. I want to know your guys' feedback because you have followed me on this rosacea journey. You guys have been so nice to say, hey, Amber, your skin's looking better. How's it working for you? You know, if you've seen me from my very first acne-free videos where my face was just like covered and that helped so much. I mean, you know that I've struggled for a long time. And if I can find something that's the very best, that's what I want to do. And if it doesn't work, then I'll let you know. And that's still positive in my eyes because I want to help other people. Because I spent so many years struggling. If I can do something that would help someone else, I think it's worth it. So I think I'm gonna give this a try, but I still wanna know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts, opinions. Have you tried it? Did it work for you? Do you know anything about Paula's Choice line? And basically, that's it for today. I hope this was helpful, maybe explaining some different things about rosacea that I know I didn't know before that I read this article. And of course, if you wanna read more in depth, it's just from paulaschoice.com. They don't know I exist. They're not going to send me these products. These are products that I'll be purchasing with my own money. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. Just want to throw that out there. And so that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this Rosacea Diaries. I look forward to reading your comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Okay, I normally don't use shimmery highlights, but this is pretty much what I've got. So this is the Giovanni palette. I don't really know how to say this, but I'm going to take some of that on this brush too and just kind of blend out the edges here.